Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, Ask the Experts, a live bi-weekly show to help you know what to do and what's new in digital marketing for 2021 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading experts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Startups. Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, your show host, and I'm excited to welcome you to today's show. Today's topic is how to quickly grow your network marketing business online using proven marketing and sales strategies. And our guest is a renowned international podcaster, a speaker, and a coach for the network marketing industry, and he's been doing it for years with incredible success. I'll introduce our guest in just a moment, but before we get started with today's show, a quick reminder that at the end of every talk, I always share a tip, a trend, or a piece of digital marketing news of the week. So stick around for this week's Engage Digital Marketing News of the Week, and a reminder that what we do every quarter is accumulate. Is that the word, accumulate? Accumulate all of the news of the weeks for the quarter. And we put it into a really nifty and very, it's a really interesting newsletter. And you can subscribe to that newsletter by going to engage.com. And I'll share that on our screen for you. You can go to engage.com, scroll down to the footer of the page. You'll see a black box that says subscribe. And that's where you can subscribe to our quarterly Engage News of the Week cumulative newsletter. It's a great way to keep up on digital marketing trends. And of course, a reminder that if you're not familiar with Engage, we are a free forever cloud-based platform that offers its users tools to grow and scale your business, and also tools to really make the customer experience the best it can be. And we know that in today's competitive marketplace, optimizing the customer experience is how you keep customers coming back, how you build a loyal customer base, and that is how you get ahead. So check out engage.com, that's N-G-A-G-G-E.com, and learn more about our software and all that we can offer your company. Okay, I want to kick off the show and bring in our very special guest. His name is Richard Matheroo, and he is joining us from, I'm going to say it quick because I'm not sure I know how to say it right, Lancashire, I'm going to say it like that, in the UK. And Richard literally had to put on a Superman cape in order to join us for today's show and basically fly through a crazy, crazy traffic accident. So we're very excited he's here. For those of you who may have registered to join us for today's show, thank you for joining us a little bit later. And hey, if you're listening to us on the replay, no stress. You're listening to our show at your convenience. So it doesn't matter. We're just so happy to give you today's episode. So if you don't know who Richard is, let me share why you need to know who he is. First and foremost, and I like this, Richard is a family man, but he's also an entrepreneur who's been helping network marketers and coaches make predictable and consistent sales online. We always talk about consistency is key. Richard helps home business owners predictably grow their network marketing business online using proven sales, peak performance, and marketing strategies, so they never have to worry about those essentials again. His saying is, to the top with no excuses. And for 7 years, and I actually think it's probably been more now, he's made it his mission to position home business owners with both profitable and fast scaling results. He can credit over $2 million in sales to his resume, a team of hundreds, award-winning business education blog, and over 320,000 network marketing truth podcast downloads. That's just a few. He has an incredible track record in the industry, and he's had the privilege to speak internationally on the subject of digital entrepreneurship. And we're excited he's here because not only is he, like I said, a family man, but he's an expert in this field. And he's going to share with us how to quickly grow your network marketing business online using some of his proven marketing and sales strategies. However, a couple of fun facts before we get started. He absolutely loves to travel with his daughter, Ava, and his wife, Rachel. and he has a British championship in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Ooh, fun fact. Richard, welcome to today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know you really battled to get here, so thank you so much for joining us and being our guest expert today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that incredible introduction. And yeah, for those of you live, I really dislike being late for anything. It just took about nearly 3 hours to do a 20-minute journey, but I just hope whoever was involved is okay. Gratitude is important. We got here, and if you're on the replay, like I said, there's no sweat there. So yeah, I appreciate this. I'm looking forward to it. Want to help people in the network marketing industry. All those facts were fun. Apart from the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu one, that was more painful than fun, but the payoff was fun in the end.
I studied for about 4 years Kempo karate when I was a little girl. Yeah, and I really loved it. And I think it was one of the best sports to really teach me how to focus, right? And how to put in the work, because you certainly don't learn karate overnight. And I know that's the same with jujitsu. So really taught me in focus, endurance, and being consistent, because you only got better the more that you did,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always liked having skills that go with you everywhere that you go. So the idea of self-defense, I've done many martial arts through the years. I just like the fact that that was something that I carried with me. Hopefully never needed to use it, but on occasion it's been life-saving on occasion. So, and really useful, like you say, with the knock-on effect in the rest of your life.
Oh, wow. So mine has only been useful, like when I'm in the kitchen with my fiance and I'm like, babe, pretend to come behind me and grab me here. And then I move. And he's like, whoa, whoa, easy.
Yeah, it's good that it's a fiance, not like a new partner when you first kind of pull those kind of moves, right? So I'm good that he's got that confidence to know your personality.
Yeah, don't mess with me. Okay. Well, hey, we're not going to mess with you. Today, we're going to soak in all the great tips and techniques and strategies we're going to share with us. And for those of you listening, if you're loving some of the information that Richard is sharing with you, I will share at the end of the show how you can connect with him. We'll share his websites. He'll share more about one of the master classes that he offers. So there'll be lots of information if you want to get in touch with Richard and maybe work with him in the future. So sit back, enjoy today's show. And for those of you watching, I'll read through this for those of you listening, but for those of you watching, I'm going to go ahead and pop up an outline on our screen of the points that we're going to talk about for today's show. So I'll read this out loud for those of you listening on the podcast. So we're talking about how to quickly grow your network marketing business online using a proven marketing and sales strategy. The 3 key things that Richard wants to dive into today. First, why YouTube provides a massive network of marketing advantage, a massive network marketing advantage. Yes. Okay. Make sure I wrote that out right. So we'll talk about YouTube and how you can use that to your advantage and why that is especially helpful for those of you in the network marketing world. We'll talk about a YouTube results case study. So Richard will share something with us in terms of a case study. And then we'll talk about how to attract and convert new team members and customers without the need for repetitive actions. And I think this is interesting, Richard, because I'm somebody who has worked just a little bit in the network marketing world. There is one product that I enjoy personally that I like sharing with my friends and family. And I've never had much luck growing a team, but I also don't know that I put enough effort in. I think network marketing is something that a lot of people probably have some negative connotations regarding because of their experiences. But before we get into our, kind of the 3 main things we want to talk about, do you want to share anything kind of overview wise about how you got into network marketing and how you started helping people?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So the first time I was introduced into network marketing, I didn't actually realize it was network marketing. I had a brick and mortar health and fitness business. My wife and I owned 2 health clubs. And as the first kind of recession came in back in sort of 2007, 2008, business started to get tougher and tougher. I reached out to a marketing consultant, said, can we get some help with this? And he was like, yeah, one of the things you can do is you can add some other streams of income, such as, say, supplementation, or such as using online, like webinars, web classes, that kind of thing. I'd never heard of that. He said, hey, I've got a software where you can broadcast to a whole bunch of people from the comfort of your own home. Of course, now we have many softwares that can do this, but back then it was very new. That was actually a network marketing company. So I'd been using this software as a customer, he said, oh, by the way, you can refer other people to this. So I kind of stumbled into it in that sense. I didn't really do anything with it. And then when the business kind of got really tough a few years later, I trusted the wrong people. For me, a handshake's as good as a contract. That's not the same for everybody else. I didn't realize that. I ended up in a really serious financial situation, from trajectory going really well. Man, everything just fell off a cliff. And I was like, man, I need extra income. So that was when I really consciously found network marketing, struggled, bounced through companies, thought there's got to be a better way than what I'm being taught here. This isn't working for me, just a list of my friends and family, all that type of thing. And that's what led me to the methods that I now teach people. It was the very first time I was able, starting from zero as an average guy, to go and get these way, way, way above average, extraordinary results. And that's what's led me to this type of approach.
I think it's always interesting to learn somebody's background on a specific, niche or topic or their area of expertise, because I think we can all agree the best teachers are people who have experienced the mistakes and experienced the pitfalls and have, made their mistakes and learned from it, because they turn around and use those mistakes and those discoveries to shape their lesson and to shape how they can help other people. So
yeah, I just wanted to be a great father. I just wanted to be a great father. I didn't see my dad for 17 years. So from being a very young, sort of even a child, 12, 13 years old, I always had an eye on the careers people would come around. People would say, I want to be a fireman, want to be a police officer. I'd say, I want to be a great dad. So I had that in my mind from being very young. And then to be in that position around about 29 years old, where I put all the work in, all the effort, and had lost everything, it was very demoralizing and embarrassing and destructive. So anytime things would get tough, all the 328 no's in a row I had to go through before I got my very first sign up, always kept focused on, who I wanted to be, what I wanted to provide. And that's why I share so much with passion now, because I know that a lot of people out there come to this industry wanting above money. Is what they're going to do with that, the time, the money, the people. So I take it as my responsibility to kind of pay that forward.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's jump into our discussion for today, really the meat and potatoes, because I know people are tuning in. They're in the network marketing world. Maybe this has been a blessing for them, the new kind of transition to using Zooms and using live streaming to get their message across. But maybe people are still very confused about how to move ahead, how to gain teammates, how to boost sales, how to get your image and your brand out there, how to strategize everything you want to do and get it out into the digital world. So let's talk about YouTube. You're a big advocate of YouTube. And I think from the first time we spoke, you had said it's not about having a lot of followers. It's just about getting the views, right? Not necessarily subscribers, but more the views. Am I remembering correctly?
What really counts in our industry is, if you really want to get a sign up, you've got to have somebody not just see your message. It's got to be the right person. I talk about selling, meat to a vegetarian. It doesn't matter how many of the vegetarians you show. Nothing wrong with being a vegetarian, nothing wrong with the meat, but they just don't mix. So you've got to find the right kind of person who's open for what you're offering, is actively searching for that solution. So when they come across your message about your business, your product, whatever you want to sell the most, they go, this is exactly what I'm looking for. That's what is missing in the network marketing industry for the majority of what's being taught. It's kind of like the old-fashioned way of cooking spaghetti. Throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. There's too much wastage in that for me as an individual. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So that idea of wasting that much time, energy, and effort to messaging random people, calling random people, and hoping like the lottery that it will work. Real business isn't built like that. If you want to do big numbers, if you want to have freedom, if you want to really grow, something like YouTube, which is the best for me to accomplish this, allows people to actively find you. They're already looking for what you're offering, and straight away there's rapport and relationship built, so we can actually convert that to a sale or a sign up.
Wow. I like that you said you felt the throw it at the wall and sticks method is kind of a waste. And I say, yeah, it's especially a waste of spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
I think that's funny you said that. I actually had spaghetti last night for dinner.
Well, this is why there's such negativity about network marketing industry, because People are used to just being pitched the wrong way, overly pressured, desperate people. They've given this script that they've heard a million times. So there isn't really anything wrong with the network marketing industry. It's a great business model. It's a great industry. It's very simple. But there is a lot of problems with network marketers, beginners, burnt out, experienced people, not given the right tactics. Their friends and family and people go, oh, here's another one, right? It's like meet the parents outside the circle of trust. We really don't want to do that with our methods. And if we can clean up our act, get the right education, take the right approach, the reputation will start to actually become more positive as people are more professional like other industries.
So then let me ask you a question. What would you say is the first step for a network marketer if they are hearing what you're saying, and for them YouTube is an untapped, resource? What is the first step that you can suggest to them for
Sure.
either exploring that, starting, or maybe experimenting with YouTube?
Yeah, so specificity is key. What we don't want to do, generalists are always paid and have a lot less success than specialists. Generalist versus a specialist always wins, right? Special forces, special talent, special skills. It's what we look for in an expert. So if we go into YouTube, any marketing method, and we have this very gray message, I can help anybody make extra money. If you've got a travel product, anybody can travel with me and get a great deal. Or vitamins, everybody loses weight or gains muscle. Nobody believes that message, right? No audience believes that. They go, well, it can't work. It's like, for example, these adverts we see on the radio or the TV. We guarantee to beat your insurance quote. Well, if every company's saying that, everybody but one company is lying, because that one company will give you the best deal. So straight away, we mistrust that. This is the same in our industry. So what we really want to do is be a specialist, to have less competition and really carve out our audience. So picking a target market is the first step to being not just a good network marketer, but a good marketer, which is very important. What group of people do you want to work with? What group of people would really benefit from your product or your business? Who can you relate to? An easy place to start is someone very similar to yourself, maybe one or two steps back. So if you've already joined your network marketing company and you're beginning to build it, well, a couple of steps ago, where were you mentally? What were you researching? What brought you into joining that company or that product? Start to create content around those decisions that you were making, educate other people that way. And they're like, hey, I can relate to that. What is it that you sell again? What is it you were talking about? It's great leads and a great ethical method.
That all makes so much sense, because one of the things that we, are learning, or I'm learning, right, and through our series, is it's very important to remember it's not about you, and it's about the problem that you're hoping to solve for somebody else.
Yeah.
And most people probably started and joined up with a network marketing company because they had a problem. Either they were looking for a side hustle, they were looking for extra income, or they fell in love with a product that solved a need that they had.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you would actually take two steps back, like you said, and ask yourself, okay, well, what people like myself are potentially asking themselves the same question or looking for a solution to the same problem, and then start there and start very targeted. That's so brilliant.
Absolutely.
It's so simple, but it makes so much sense.
People join people. It isn't just what we show them, it's what they see. So if some random person in the street comes up to you, very scruffily dressed, poor appearance, poor communication skills, and tries to sell you anything, you're saying no before they've opened their mouth. You're saying no. It's not about the what, it's about the who and the how. Who you are and how you position what you've got is way more important than what it is, because there's many options for people out there to make extra income, to lose weight, to travel, whatever your product or your business is. So why you? Why should they care that it's you that's bringing this to them? That's it's an important and unanswered awkward question that the industry doesn't address correctly. Oh yeah, just go out there with the same script, the same message, and someone's bound to be spaghetti and stick to the wall. Well, no. Sharpen your message, be more credible, position yourself in the correct manner, and now people will come to you already half wanting to join because of the way that you positioned yourself, right?
You're not giving them a reason right away to say no, right? If
Absolutely.
you're approachable, you're put together, you're educated. let's talk about the case study that you want to share with us.
Sure.
And I do believe, would this be a screen share on your part?
Yeah, so let me share my screen. I'm going to quickly blast through these slides and then just cut in whenever you want to ask any questions or take the screen back, and that's absolutely fine.
Okay,
So
great.
I'll share the screen. I've used this software before, so I'm cool with this.
And if you guys have any questions for Richard, even if you're listening to this show on a replay, I believe you can still leave your question in the comment section, and we can go ahead and email that to Richard and get a response to your answer if for some reason you're not catching us on the live show right now. And if you are watching live and you have any questions for Richard, feel free to drop in and leave those questions in the comment section. All right, cool. Richard, here we go.
Can you see my slides okay? Can you see the slides okay?
What's that?
Can you see the slides okay on your screen?
I can see them great.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll blast through this as quick as I can. So we know what we're talking about. What is stopping most network marketers right now? The correct exposure of their business to a large amount of the right people on a consistent basis. The time, complexity, and repetition to fix it. Imagine if I sent any network marketer thousands of hungry customers every single month. Of course, it would make a difference. And imagine more and more interested people coming to you, even buying from you with less time input. That's what we're going to fix with this YouTube strategy right now. Nothing for sale here. It's all free information for you to benefit. We've already covered these three areas. Keeping it simple, you need an audience to come to you that wants to buy. You need to build trust and authority with that audience to convert the interest to a yes, and do both in a way that provides freedom. That's network marketing in a nutshell. Create interest, convert interest, duplicate that interest in a time-controlled manner. I've gone from 328 no's in a row to sponsoring over 750 people in network marketing. I've now got over 3 million minutes watched on my YouTube channel, bunch of other stuff that I've done. The only reason I mention this is so you know that I know what I'm talking about. There's people doing more, people doing less. What's more important is, while I've got these big numbers and won these incentives and done all this stuff, is the freedom and flexibility of that I've been able to do. This is Lapland. We took my daughter to Lapland to see Santa. We've seen the Northern Lights over Norway, Infinity Pool up in Singapore, Bali, Paris, New York. We got married in New York. We took our daughter back, 10-year anniversary. Berlin, went to the Berlin Wall. I told my daughter when she was younger that planes can land on water. She didn't believe me, so I took her to Lake Como and proved it. Sorrento in Italy, Disney in Florida. And then we recently moved into our dream home. I've always wanted a good view from the back of a property, and that's our current view of the land over there at the back of our dream home. Built big teams, met and made friends with the people that used to be completely untouchable in our industry, company magazines, six businesses in multiple areas, topping leaderboards, and tons and tons and tons and tons of client results. 6,800 in 12 days, 12 signups in 21 days, 36 team members in 14 days. There's just so many results coming from what I'm teaching. I took a look. Here's a case study. We begin. I took a look. Where's my success coming from? I do multiple methods. I realized that directly and indirectly, 84% of all my business was coming through YouTube. With the correct strategy, you can easily break six figures in virtually any industry, especially coaching and network marketing, using that. YouTube, because documentation beats conversation. Let me take a look at these stats for you. More than 2 billion logged in monthly users on YouTube. 3/4 of adults in the US use it. It's the second most visited website. It's also a search engine, which is very important. This isn't where we go on social media to browse. People come to YouTube with a purpose. They're looking for help. They're looking for information, which means you can move to solutions over sales. It's the world's second most used social platform. 18 and over viewers spend nearly 3/4 of an hour a day on there. Yet only 24% of businesses have a YouTube strategy. About half of marketers invest in advertising there. People who are using YouTube 3 times more likely to watch a tutorial than read instructions. So
I have to say, my fiance won't read instructions or watch a YouTube tutorial, but I see where you're coming with that for sure. People love videos. People love unboxings. They love to, we're just very visual people. So this is great.
Absolutely. Well, think of, like, I've just spoke for maybe 3-4 minutes. If I was to write all that out, how many pages would you have to read? So the speed and of how people can consume, the consumption of information, video just means that they can get it easier. And we always take the easy option as human beings. YouTube ads, 84% more likely to get prospects than a TV ad. They're a fraction of the price. but nearly 90% more effective. 80% of shoppers drew purchase inspiration from YouTube videos at the beginning of their journey. And 90% of people who have discovered a new product or service, that's been through YouTube. So basically what we're seeing is the majority of viewers bought a brand after seeing it on YouTube. The number of channels that are earning 5 figures or more from YouTube is growing 50% year on year. So your customers are buying from YouTube. Your competitors are waking up to this. You need to get in the game of YouTube, because whether you decide you want to do this or not, the question I would ask you is, how can you compete with your competitors that are on YouTube? You just can't. Their popularity, their positioning, their growth, their branding, their reach is all scaling while you're still trying to message one by one by one. You'll just get smashed. You can't compete. Like I say here, you're going to get smashed by those that are on YouTube. So the alternative, if we don't do this, one by one prospecting, usual stuff. How's your shoes? You look sharp. Do you want to come to a meeting? I mean, no other business model uses that. It's laughable. Can you imagine if you called up your friends and family and said, hey, I've got to meet you somewhere, and they turn up and then you're trying to sell them your new shoe shop business with a random third party? It just doesn't make sense. This is what we're trying to do in network marketing. Facebook advertising is a great platform that I use, but with network marketing, extremely unpredictable. The advertising and the posts are getting closed down more and more and more. So we need a backup. Time is the most precious resource. So I don't want to see people getting even good numbers, but having to sell their soul and miss out on family, miss out on free time to do it. YouTube has allowed me to be able to build these massive numbers, this massive, amazing life, but also be happy in the process, which is at the end of the day, the most important thing. So here's some numbers. These are a little outdated. They're from March. So sort of 6 months ago. I'm actually over 900,000 views now. I'm fast closing in on 100,000 views. Obviously, these are coming in passively. If we look, though, like you touched on earlier, Marissa, 96% of my nearly 1 million views has come from non-subscribed people. So most people are teaching, hey, you've got to build a subscriber base first, and then you can finally get some traction. I've circumnavigated that to get faster results by, as you can see there on the screen, 96% come from people who never even knew who I was before the video was published. I've easily added 150K plus in various business models, network marketing being one of them, to my bottom line, passively using YouTube. Affiliate sales, you name it, I've made sales on YouTube in that business model. Coaching, online courses, network marketing, affiliate marketing, all through YouTube. How did I get these results? Target market. Stop selling beef to vegetarians. What you've got to do is make sure that whoever's watching your video, their perceived benefit and the possibility of results exceeds their perceived sacrifice and comfort, right? That's a very powerful sentence. Someone has to watch what you're doing and go, okay, well, the shot that I've got here at getting what I want is going to be worth what I have to give to receive that benefit. Not a lot of people think that way. It's very important that you do. I recommend educational video. You don't have to go out there. Look at me. I don't look like a model. I'm not a crazy guy. I'm not hiring bikini people behind me. That's just not my style. It's not the way I was raised. So if you think you've got to go out there and go viral or do crazy, wacky stuff or be in a Ferrari on Monday and a high-rise apartment on Tuesday and Miami on Wednesday, you don't have to do that stuff. All you have to focus on is providing some education to your audience so that when they finish watching your video, they go, I'm better for that. I've learned something useful. Exactly what we're doing here, but on a shorter format for your target market on YouTube. There's no need for exciting or flashy on-camera stuff. No need for pointless viral video approach. Master SEO, search engine optimization. So much easier to rank a video on YouTube than it is on Google, which means if I type in the words weight loss for over 40s men, the videos that pop up is not by accident. They have ethically manipulated what they've done to their videos to make sure that they show up and then give you the information about their supplement or their weight loss plan. I do the same thing with my content. I teach my students the same thing. That's why 96% of my traffic has come from non-subscribers. They're typing in search words that are exactly what my existing ideal customer is looking for. They're finding my video content. You can do the same thing. I've got just over 5,000 subscribers now, yet I've got nearly 1 million views. So the proof is in the pudding there.
And I have a question for you, Richard.
Sure.
How important is it to use specific tags? I know that YouTube offers the option to now put tags on your video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find those to be helpful, or because of the algorithms, is it one of those things where when you put a certain number of tags, it's good, but if you go more than that, it's bad? Is it kind of wonky in terms of tags, or is it pretty much just a win-win as long as you're tagging appropriately?
Tags make a little bit of difference right now. YouTube keeps saying it's phasing them out, but we can include hashtags in our videos to sort of future-proof the way that they tag. So if you notice, YouTube is testing out a little bit of a social aspect with the shorts videos, right? Like a TikTok would on YouTube. So they're testing out this kind of social aspect. And a year or two ago, they started to allow you to kind of post an update on YouTube, not just a video. So you can post pictures and updates. So they're obviously, Google's testing out, having retired Google Plus, it's testing out the social aspect. And if it takes off, hashtags will become probably more important than tags. So what I recommend doing is still use the tags, still look at what it is your audience is searching for and include them in the tags area. But in the description area of your video, include include hashtags for the same tags. So if I was putting on tags in my video, network marketing training, network marketing success, I would include those same hashtags in the description area of my video. So should tags be retired and hashtags replace them, right there and then we just don't have to go back and redo all our video content. We've future-proofed using that setup.
And I think from a consumer standpoint, we're now being really accustomed to seeing hashtags. So whether they are kind of incorporated in the future or not, seeing them isn't off-putting to most people.
Because now we're they're clickable on YouTube now. When you put the tags in there, when the video pops up, they are a clickable tag. So it's definitely doing something even right now, let alone what will happen in the future.
Great.
Cool. So we have a compounding effect with YouTube, which is how the freedom comes about. Remember I said how you can get more sales and signups without ever having to do the one-on-one work. How does that happen? Well, you imagine when you've got, let's say, 10 videos, 20 videos, 50 videos out there on YouTube. Even if all they are doing is fetching in 5 views a month each, that's 250 views of what your business is, your product, what you're selling, what you're providing, without you even leaving your bed, right? Every month, 250 brand new people seeing and finding the exact solution they're looking for with you delivering it. So imagine what starts to happen as the content grows and compounds and we start to learn how to do that even quicker. We can start to have this effect where someone like me who has hundreds of videos out there, I'm getting sales from videos that I made 5 years ago because people are finding them for the first time. They're now in the market for what I'm offering and they're finding it, clicking a link in the description, going into my sales process, and out the other end is coming a sale. So you can be in this position where you're getting really a high number of sales, a high number of signups, and you can pick and choose. Do I want to do any one-on-one prospecting? Do I want to do any presentations? You can still do them if you want, but you're not going to have to once that compound effect and that kind of tipping point kicks in. I recommend specifically that at the end of your videos, until you've had at least 50 phone calls, either on Zoom or over the phone, you ask the people at the end of the video to come and book an appointment with you using a sales funnel. The reason I recommend that you do that is too many people try to automate too soon. On those calls, those Zoom calls, you're going to be able at the end of every Zoom call to ask these people, hey, why was it that you said yes and got started? Or, hey, why was it that you didn't say yes? That feedback, write that down. And what you're going to see over those 50 calls or appointments is a trend, a pattern. You're going to see groups of information that's more popular than others that your prospects are saying, man, the reason I got started was this. Okay, great. We now know we need to just emphasize this more in our presentations. We're going to see people say, man, it's just that you didn't explain that good enough to me, so I couldn't get started. We can now start to address that in our video content and say, hey, you're probably thinking you don't have enough money to get started. Let me go through these payment plans with you, right? We can address that in our automated process once we've done those 50 calls. So don't skip those 50 calls. Once you've got that information, you can now move to a fully automated process where you create a presentation that includes all the information. You don't even have to present to people at that point if you don't want to. And we put all that together. We have the right people finding the right offer every single day, more numbers reaching out. And the longer you do it, the better it works. You can boost this also as well. If you have a budget, you're able to boost this process, speed it up with 2 simple advertising campaigns. I haven't got time to go through that right now, but you can increase your targeted views. You can increase your conversions. 2 very simple advertising campaigns when you're in a position to do that. And I have a massive track record of success with these strategies. These aren't just things that I've guessed on. So, loads of results, loads of results. So I've gone through all the slides there. Let me stop sharing my screen and we can see any questions that you may have.
Yeah, no questions from the audience. I'm trying to think if I have any questions. I think that your process is very clear. I think the key thing that we need to remember going in is, again, being as targeted as you can. And I liked your tip about educational videos. A lot of times people are not that comfortable in front of the camera themselves. So let's not forget that you can get creative and you can do unboxing or educational videos or tutorials without even necessarily showing your face. You can do the voiceover, right? Or you can do a series of still shots. So that way maybe your voiceover is happening and you're reading from a script, and then it's maybe a fun kind of like series of pictures, right, that are popping up. So I think people can also use YouTube in very creative ways to get over some of their fears and over some of the things that are kind of holding them back. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I really...
It's also, you'll find as well that the corporate sort of what most people think when they're making video is they have this image in mind, almost like the old PowerPoint style, right? PowerPoint used to be a corporate shirt, tie, don't stutter, don't miss your words, everything's got to be perfect. And people feel that video has got to be that way too. Hi, my name is Richard. Welcome to my... People don't really care about that. All they're thinking when they look at your video is, oh, so what? So what? Is this useful? Is this useful for me? Is this beneficial to me? And often if somebody comes out there and is very polished, very professional, that can be off-putting to people because they think in their brain, well, sure, it's all right for you, but I can't do that. If you're building your business this way, how am I supposed to copy that? Or I don't think I get on with this person because the professionalism and the picture they're painting, that seems so far away from me. So don't overlook the value you can share with an audience. Like I remember when I created one of my very early products, a digital product. And, there's people in the industry at that time when I was new, I'd only made about 7 or 8 signups. And there's people out there who are saying, I'm making millions and millions and millions, right? So I'm thinking, how am I even going to compete with these people? These people are making millions. They're selling education. I've made a handful of signups. Why would they want to listen to me? What I realized was there's a whole bunch of people in our industry that never even reach 5 or 6 signups. They never even get that far. So for me to come to them and say, hey, I've got a proven method to show you how you can get your very first sign up and then keep recreating that to get more and more and more. Very, very, very attractive to the audience. And they're like, I don't want to go for that multi-million-dollar person because I don't believe I can get those results. But if you can teach me how to get my first sign up, I move from thinking, can I even do this, to I can absolutely do this. And that's a very, very powerful movement and valuable movement that they're willing to sort of look at and watch from me.
One question I do have for you, Richard, and I think we'll have to wrap up the talk after this question, is one thing we talk about with any sort of live streaming, video work, content marketing, that people are consistent. And we mean consistent in the type of videos they're creating. We mean consistent where they're posting them. Do you suggest that people start on YouTube because you obviously have shared that it is a great place for success? Do you suggest YouTube as a great place to start? And then my second question is, do you like the idea of starting on YouTube and then branching your YouTube content onto, let's say, your TikTok or your Instagram or your Facebook, if that's where your target demographic also is?
Sure. Yeah. So YouTube for me is the best place to start simply for one very, very important reason. If we both posted the same video once a week, every week, I posted on YouTube and you could pick any other social platform you like, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or whatever happens. We both have 52 videos on the platform by the end of the 52 weeks of 1 year. Now, how many videos of mine are bringing in traffic, results, views? If I followed the correct process, it's all 52, right? The first video, still people is typing in the search terms, finding my video. For you, it's one. It's the most recent video that you did. The rest are no longer showing up in the news feeds. The rest are no longer being found. The only way you could use us is if you individually sent the link to somebody else. So the traffic that I'm getting is compounding with every video. The traffic on every other platform has a very finite lifespan of 24, 48 hours, unless it goes massively viral, which we can't predict.
Yeah. And you bring up a really good point too. I know my Facebook is not public. So if I have 2, 4, 5, 7,000 followers, the likelihood of my video hitting my followers is high. But obviously the likelihood of my followers or non-followers finding my video is non-existent, because unless I make my video public, it's not even searchable.
Absolutely. And they don't use Facebook that way. I mean, when was the last time you searched for something on Facebook, like business advice, or you just don't. You search for people. Maybe you're researching a person. Okay, who is this person before I buy from them, or whatever it may be. But it's never ever. It's always on Google or YouTube. You go and actually search for a solution. And Google owns YouTube, so sometimes a lot of the YouTube videos actually pop up on Google as well. So we get the second bites of the cherry. And then to answer your question about branching out, absolutely. You can use social sharing platforms, you can use software, you can hire somebody, to do that for you. They can literally chop up the longer videos from YouTube, post them to social profiles like TikTok and Instagram if you wish, and have them point back to the longer video on YouTube. So you don't have to re-record anything. You can just repurpose little snippets and point them like satellites back to the planet that is YouTube.
I love it. Well, speaking of searching, speaking of connecting, I want to share with our audience how everyone can connect with you, Richard. And if you're interested in learning more about how to take your network marketing business to the next level with more online strategies, Richard is definitely your go-to. And you can connect with Richard through LinkedIn. I always advise, if you connect with our guests through LinkedIn, that you let them know that you heard them on the Engage podcast or saw them on the replay of the Engage episode, because that puts a little perspective into what you heard and what you maybe understood from him, and maybe where you are looking to connect in terms of maybe, like I said, working together in the future or getting more advice. So that is how you can connect with Richard. For those of you listening on the podcast, it's Richard, Richard, last name Matheroo, Matharoo. Now, I have 2 websites to share for you, Richard. First is your namesake, www.richardmatheroo.com. And then second will be authoritynetworker.com. What are we seeing on each website that is going to be a little bit different? Where are we going to, why would we choose the Richard Matheroo website over your company website, which I'll share in a moment?
Sure. So Richard Matheroo is where I started, and I don't use that website really for content anymore. It's just a great way for anyone that's in either coaching or network marketing. They can go there. And then there's a couple of links. If you're a network marketer, click this. If you're a coach, click that. So it sends you to the best resources. Whereas Authority Networker is specifically for the network marketing industry. There they can find out more information about the overall strategy that I use, including YouTube, specifically for network marketers.
So I want you guys to check this out, authoritynetworker.com, www.authoritynetworker.com. And that is where, again, you can find out more information about Richard's classes, right, Richard?
Yeah, there's a web class over there. If they just put /webinar on the end, free web class, they can go there. And it's about 2 hours long, but they get loads of details and information there, stuff they can grab a notepad if you're going to go register for that.
Ooh, and it's free.
It's free, yeah.
2-hour class. You guys, you just heard it. I'm telling you, when you have digital marketing questions, when you need help in a digital marketing topic, Engage is your jam. We bring you the best guests with the most incentives and the best insights and advice. I hope you've so much enjoyed this show with Richard Matheroo. I know, like I said, he had to put on a Superman cape, literally fly over a crazy traffic accident to make it to today's show. And the fact that he showed up and we made this happen is just a testament to how much he is a professional. And if you are looking for help in growing your network marketing company online with more strategies, please reach out and connect with him. Richard, it was such a pleasure to have you on today's show. Thank you so much for your insights. I feel like we, in a sense, scratched the tip of the network marketing, online strategy iceberg, but I love this 2-hour class that you offer. And I do want to advise anybody who's listening, who's interested, go to authoritynetworker.com/webinar and check out Richard's class. It's totally free. As you heard him, he said, just grab a pen and a pad of paper. Quick comment, a LinkedIn user, Kevin, just said, hey, this was an awesome show, awesome content. So
thank you.
So
I
much.
appreciate that. I just hope as many people as it can help. I just hope it helps you, get the results, get the lifestyle that you want. I appreciate you taking the time to comment.
And thank you so much again, Richard, for joining us today. We really appreciate all of your insights. And again, thank you for being today's guest expert.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful guest. And really, I'm so appreciative that he was able to make today's show. Great guest. Please check him out, Richard Matheroo on LinkedIn. If you are a network marketer, he is the go-to resource for all kinds of online strategies. And as we heard today, if you're not on YouTube, you're missing out. So check it out. If you're just joining us and you missed the bulk of the show, that is okay. I've got some Engage News of the Week for you right now. And then I'm going to share with you our next guest who will be joining us next Tuesday. So let's talk about a really quick piece of Engage News of the Week. Now, this news continues with recommendations for working around the privacy restrictions that we discussed last week. So we're talking about the fact that Apple recently changed their policies, and you now have to opt in to having your personal information tracked when you go onto apps. So consumers have now realized, right, that their data is one of the greatest assets in the modern world, and they want to know that their data will be used responsibly. So as we mentioned last week, Apple recently changed how it handled consumer data by increasing privacy and protection around its users' information. This, coupled with increased governmental regulations around data privacy, will affect now how businesses craft marketing initiatives going forward. So we experts have suggested 3 different solutions. And the first one is really getting to know your customers on a deeper level. Brands and marketers must look beyond that typical third-party data like general demographics or the time users spend on a page and understand specific interests and objectives of their customers. Who just said that? Our guest Richard just said that exact same thing. And basically experts are telling marketers and brands that you have to go beyond these basic demographics and really get to know what problem your customer has in order to reach them. Second, you'll have to give power back to the consumers through personalization. At the same time that customers want privacy from their advertisers, they also want products and they want offers that suit their individual interests. This requires marketers to understand their customers beyond their clicking and scrolling habits and will require more initiative on their part. And last, you'll have to, and this is, we did this on purpose, but listen closely, you'll have to employ communication technology, boom, like Engage, that allows access to multiple conversation channels, gathers information in real time, enhances customer experience, and provides accurate data reports. Boom. That is our Engage News of the Week. As these privacy changes have rolled out, experts are now telling brands and marketing companies you have to do things differently and you can't just rely on third-party data, because if everyone's opting out, and many people are, I know I'm clicking no, now you're not getting the full picture. All right, guys, it's been an incredible show. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Our guest is going to be Neil Schaefer. He's a celebrated author, keynote speaker, and social media marketing expert, and he'll be sharing social media strategies for startups and small businesses as we move into 2022. If you guys have any questions or topic suggestions that you'd like to see me ask the experts, Ooh, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I am the Marissa Morgan on LinkedIn. You got to put the first, or you get a different Marissa Morgan. I won't talk about who's better, but we know the answer to that question. So the Marissa Morgan on LinkedIn, and you can email me at marissa.m@engage, NGAGGE.com. As always, it's been a wonderful time with our guest expert, Richard Matheroo. Please be sure to follow our company, Engage, on LinkedIn. Look for the rainbow colored cog, because that is where you'll find updates and notifications of upcoming shows, upcoming guest experts, and you'll also be able to find replays of past shows on our LinkedIn page as well. And one final reminder that if you're loving our series, maybe this was the first show that you listened to, if you'd like more information on different digital marketing topics, I would love for you to see our live show library. And you can find the live show library under resources, the resources tab at engage.com. So go to engage.com, click resources, you'll see a live show library. We also have a podcast library if you prefer the audio versions of our shows. Stay ahead on all the digital trends, digital news, and digital marketing strategies with Engage Digital Marketing Intelligence. On behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I want to thank you for joining in today's show. And again, please connect with our amazing guest expert, Richard Matheroo, on LinkedIn. Have a great day, everybody, and have a wonderful, blessed, and safe weekend.